I know that you guys don't understand the war. You say kill people in hospitals. So the war is in the hospital because the Palestinian terrorists are embedded themselves in those hospitals and
What if
schools
you're
and
the
all of those.
terrorist? What if you're the terrorist? You're the terrorist. You invaded their land. You are the terrorist.
So on October 7th,
You're not in Israel. You're in Palestine. You are a terrorist. You're an occupier. That's the point. You're using
Palestine?
language
No,
to manipulate.
Palestine, first of all, if you're going to go to the origin of the word, it came from Greece.
No, we don't have to go to the origin of the word. We're going to the origin of that land and how your
100%,
country is younger
100%.
than my grandmother. My grandmother's older than your country. So we don't need to go to play a word game. We're playing the game of fact. The fact is you guys came from Europe and bullied your way in there and murdered the population.
The Ethiopian Jews didn't come from Europe.
Yeah, are you talking about the Jews that you guys tried to stop them from having children so you can keep Israel white? You talking about those Ethiopian Jews?
I say I didn't come from Europe. The Ethiopian Jews didn't come from Europe.
That's silly. The reason you didn't come from Europe, the reason you did not come from Europe is because the colonial settler state was already established. That's why. It's the same thing with me saying I didn't come from Africa. Well, that's because my ancestors had already come here, but that's not where they originate from. And similarly, we're both in settler colonial states. But here's the difference. You guys have committed your genocide on television with no remorse.
Wow. If that guy was getting schooled any harder, he'd have to find one to blow up. Let's check in on Ro Khanna, shall we?
Well, let me tell you what a Democratic president's never going to do. An Israeli prime minister is not going to be sitting in our situation room telling the American president what to do. Only Americans will be in that situation room.
Hey, now, in this country, sometimes we don't even let our president into the situation room, you know, because he's too busy yelling a lot and distracting the military brass from actually being able to do their jobs. But you're right, it would be great if our country wasn't constantly doing the bidding of other countries. You're right about that, Ro. You're right about a lot of things, Ro. In fact, you know who else is right about things sometimes, Ro?
Hey, Orange Pig. America first? Oops. Oh boy, that was the slogan you stole. But Bibi's pulling strings and your vote is getting cold. We're not just fighting for Iran, hear this clear. Your people reached out to us. Yeah, we got the DMs here. If one nation's gonna stand against the Epstein regime's fear, it's us till the last breath. We've been doing it for years. We're standing here for everyone your system ever wrong. They've known all along the enemy was always you. The real threat wore a suit and sung a patriotic song while selling their own citizens and calling it strong. Stealing from your own people, making them bleed, taking tax dollars just to fund your own greed. They waking up to the lies, the illusions of burst. You screamed America first, now you put losers first. Make Israel great again. Your government is run by pedophiles. They ordered you to die for Israel. They ordered you to die for Israel. They lied to you all. We saw everything.
You know, I'm not gonna lie, I'm starting to think these videos are AI. I'm even starting to think that they are propaganda. And I'm okay with both of those things because they are also bops. Are people still saying bops? Or is that just another thing that people are going to say is anti-Semitic? It's hard to keep track these days. Let's watch a clip.
We're not blaming Israel for everything, but if you can't admit that this all started because Israel was going, so Marco Rubio said, we have to go. Miriam Adelson is a huge Israeli sponsor. She gave him $100 million. And name one leader from another country that has visited the White House 7 times in 1 year. And when it comes to Congress, he has 100.
I'm sorry. He's not doing that. He's not blaming the Jews.
I'm not blaming.
He is not.
It's so tiresome to hear this. Don't play that game. Please, please don't play the blame the Jews game.
It's like blaming all Christians for the KKK. He's not blaming Jews.
Unfortunately, when somebody, Fred, all due respect, Fred, but when you say blame the Jews, at no stage has anybody blamed the Jews, right? We have specifically just made it clear that we are criticizing the Israeli government.
By the way,
Miriam Adelson.
Hold on. Hold on. So you mean to tell me if somebody gives you $100 million, you're not going to lean to what they want? Are you crazy? And by the way, I'm a Semite, Piers. I'm Assyrian. So don't play this whole anti-Semitic. That argument is done, and people have woken up to it. Don't play that game with me, please.
Yeah, look, Vinny, you're turning red. Vinny, calm down. Vinny, the vein in your forehead is gonna is gonna burst. I do love the PBD boys, men, excuse me, the PBD men, Pat Betrick, Paul Bettany Davis, whatever the podcast is called. It's unbelievable. You have to check it out. All of these guys together have the intelligence of one golden retriever, and it never gets old. So let's check back in now with Ro Khanna, just to bring our blood pressure down so that Vinny doesn't explode all over the screen.
Barack Obama was a great statesman who left America much safer. I wouldn't put Donald Trump in the same paragraph. The reality is when President Obama left, because of the great efforts of people like Valerie Jarrett, we had 97% of the enriched uranium out. The reality is we didn't have 13 American service members dead. The reality is we never had gas go up from $2.30 to $4. The reality is we did not give China more role in the region. Let me finish, Maria. I'll let you finish.
Okay,
we didn't give China more role in the region. We did not give the IRGC a more hardline regime in there. You know why? Because Obama actually did his homework. He actually tried to engage in statesmanship. He got China, Russia, the entire European allies on board with getting Iran on a path to not having a nuclear weapon. All Trump did is listen to Netanyahu. That's his entire foreign policy. And you know what? I resent the fact that Israel is going to tell the United States what to do. The American president should call the shots in this country.
It is hard to imagine a time when, like, our presidents used to read books. It's like kind of a crazy thought if you think about it these days. Now, I don't know how much of what Ro Khanna is saying is accurate historically exactly, but I do think it's politically brilliant, because anything that sheds President Trump in a weak, ineffectual, or compromised light is obviously going to get under his skin. It's going to get under the skin of his followers. And I also think that, yes, Israel has absolutely played a huge role, obviously, in the conflict with Iran. I just think it's important that we don't let Trump totally off the hook and paint him as just this sort of mindless puppet, because he has been talking about Iran for like a long time, since like 2016, and then again in 2020, and again in 2024. I'm not saying he's not weak and ineffectual. I just think it's important to also remember that he is still a psychotic person, and he doesn't need Netanyahu to make psychotic decisions, though of course Netanyahu's not exactly helping. Speaking of Israel, I think maybe they should get like better PR people, because they're not exactly sending their best to discuss the merits of the genocide in Gaza. Oh, well, we bombed a hospital. Okay, well, have you considered that the etymological roots of Palestine go back to the Greek? Like, what are you doing? What are you doing? You know, it sound like you're losing your mind a little bit. You sound like Vinny. It sounds as empty-headed as Vinny on Piers Morgan. I'm kidding. Vinny is not empty-headed. Okay, his head is filled with beef jerky, and he doesn't know what to do with it. It's like a gumball machine. You gotta put quarters in his mouth, and it spits out Slim Jims. I don't know. You try to find humor in it just for yourself, because what else are you gonna do? You know what I mean? Because our country is run by a foreign lobby, a lobby acting on behalf of a foreign nation and causing immense damage and potentially plunging the world into an economic crisis. All right, see you next time, everybody.